Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Ask the Chiropractor is a little podcast that I put together because often people have questions about chiropractic and chiropractic care, and they don't know who to ask, or they ask the wrong person. What I mean by that is, usually when somebody has a question about chiropractic, they're asked their family doctor, but their family doctor has never studied chiropractic. They don't know anything about chiropractic. So when you have a question about chiropractic, ask the chiropractor. Just like if you had a question about your teeth, you wouldn't ask your family doctor, you would ask your dentist. So let's talk real quick about the topic today. This weekend I was at a Girl Scouts, my daughter's Girl Scouts play, and somebody asked me about fibromyalgia. He said, my wife's got fibromyalgia. Is that something you see in the chiropractic clinic? And if so, my wife went to a chiropractor one time, and after going one time, she was much worse than she was before she went in. So why would my wife seek chiropractic care knowing this? So let's break it down real quick. That's kind of a tough question to answer real quick. Let's first talk about fibromyalgia. How does someone get fibromyalgia? Well, that's a great question. That's a question I don't have an answer to. Lots of different theories and principles behind fibromyalgia. But we know about fibromyalgia is that you have pain not just here or there, but pain throughout your body. And usually when I see somebody who has pain throughout their body, I'm thinking more of a chemical or a systemic issue than a simple, I banged my elbow, get my elbow, put some ice on the elbow, and the elbow feels better. It's not that easy. We have to look at the body as a whole mechanism all at once, not just maybe one or two spots in the vertebrae. So we always do at our office is we always start off with taking some full spine x-rays. And when we talk about a systemic problem like fibromyalgia, some of the key areas we like to focus on are the tailbone and the very, very top of the neck. Out of the very top of the neck, there's a nerve that comes here called the vagus nerve. And in Latin, vagus means wanderer. And vagus nerve, basically, it's about the size of a piece of linguine, and it comes out between your C1, C2 area, and it travels on. It goes all throughout everywhere, generically speaking, belly button up. And the vagus nerve's job is to be the opposite of the fight and flight. You've heard of fight or flight, or we call it sympathetic nerves. This is when your body is responding to a harmful, dangerous, life-threatening stress. That fight or flight kicks on, and your body goes into what we call a catabolic mode, where you don't really care about the long term when you're in fight and flight. You only care about the next 5 minutes, because genetically speaking, we're all hunters and gatherers, and the only stress we should have like that would be like a pack of wolves or a bear. And if you don't get through the next 5 minutes, nothing else matters. So that's a fight and flight. And the vagus nerve is to turn the fight and flight off. It's to tell the body we're no longer in fight or flight. Let's go back to healing, repairing, and feeling better. So when someone comes in, they have fibromyalgia and they have this aching feeling of weakness throughout their body. The first area we look at is, how's that vagus nerve doing? Is that vagus nerve telling all the body parts that the danger's gone, it's time to relax, go back into homeostasis and heal? And I talked about the top of the neck, and I also talked about the tailbone, because I said belly button up is the vagus nerve, or belly button down would be your tailbone. So we really want to look at your hips and your upper neck and see what's going on both with the alignment and your posture to see if we can make changes there. Now, a lot of times when it comes to fibromyalgia, there's systemic body problems, rheumatoid arthritis and stuff like that. We don't adjust a lot of places. We kind of like pinpoint just a couple spots, because sometimes less is more, as I say a lot with fibromyalgia. So when someone tells me they went to a chiropractor with fibromyalgia and afterwards they were in more pain or more discomfort, a lot of times in the back of my mind, again, I'm not there, but my thought is less is more. Maybe the chiropractor adjusted every spot they saw in the x-ray instead of just trying to really zoom in those couple of spots. Now, this isn't the case for everybody with fibromyalgia, but this is the case we find with some people with fibromyalgia. Now, are we able to adjust these spots and make fibromyalgia go away forever? No, we're not. But when you have fibromyalgia and you live in a constant discomfort, anything we can do to make it better, you'll take. And a lot of people with chiropractic care report they feel much better after getting chiropractic care. So that's kind of how we do it in this office. Now, again, you're talking about a systemic problem, everything. It can't just be one adjustment here, one adjustment down there and feel better. We also look at some physical exercise. We need to get you up and moving around. And this is one of those weird conundrums, because the more you do, the more you move around, the more sore you are, the more pain you're in. So for us, it's about trying to come up with a couple powerhouse, easy to do, quick exercises and quick stretches that have a lot of bang for their buck that won't upset you more. Because again, when you talk about a systemic problem, flushing the bad stuff out and bringing the good stuff in helps you heal better. And the best antioxidant, the best fuel inductor cleaner, the best way to flush your system, bar none, is exercise. That's how we're designed. We're designed to heal on the go. But again, I understand somebody with fibromyalgia, the more on the go you are, the more discomfort you are, the more inflammation you have. So we try to really focus on a couple of really key stretches and a couple of easy motions and exercises to work on. A lot of that has to do with what we call proprioceptive training. Proprioception is right now, I know where my hand is, and I'm going to put it behind my head, and right now I can't see it, but I still know where it is. That's proprioception. So we come up with some easy proprioception exercises. Some of them, you have to, all you got to do is send a ball. I mean, that's not hard. So we have you send a ball and work on your proprioception. So that's some of the physical exercises we do to try to get you back. Another thing we look at is, we talk a lot about here being a certified chiropractic wellness practitioner. I'll look at some of the anti-inflammatory things that we can talk about too in your diet and other things in supplementation, like fish oil. If you're having fibromyalgia and you're not taking your fish oil, I think you're making a crucial mistake, because fish oil is part of the inflammation response. I know some people I know some people think they take it for cholesterol and other reasons, but the real reason why people take fish oil is for the inflammatory response, and to keep it in check. That's really what it does. As a side effect, it can lower your bad cholesterol. As a side effect, it can do all kinds of amazing things, but that's what the core level is. So we'll talk a lot about how you can take some supplements to decrease some of the neurological inflammation. Everyone knows I love resveratrol and turmeric because they're neurological antioxidants. So we'll talk about stuff like that. We'll also dive into some ways to detox, right? Maybe it's not the fact that you're lacking certain supplements. Maybe it's time to detox and get some of the bad stuff out. We talk about the easy ways of doing that too. Oil pulling, Epsom salt baths, little things that are real easy to do that can make a significant difference over time. And then lastly, we talk about lifestyle changes, like what are you putting into your body? If you have to detox, you add supplements. Maybe we need to reevaluate what your average diet is. And I've always had the joke here that if you can order it while you're in your car or get it at a gas station, you're probably not supposed to eat it. We're talking about little stuff like that, and we're trying to just help give you the guidelines and suggestions to kind of get you on your way. So does chiropractors help with fibromyalgia? Absolutely, chiropractors help with fibromyalgia. If you went to a chiropractor before and you got adjusted and you have fibromyalgia and you felt worse afterwards, well, maybe you're just that toxic too. Maybe it wasn't the chiropractor Mrs. Mark. Maybe you're just that really toxic and you gotta get some of the stuff out of your system. You gotta flush yourself out. These are great questions to ask. And too, it's not bad to get another opinion too, either from another chiropractor. If you went to one chiropractor, got adjusted and felt worse afterwards, go see another chiropractor and have them look at your x-rays and look at your films and get their opinion too, and ask them maybe why it happened. Maybe it was supposed to happen. If you had a cavity in your tooth, you might not know it's there, but when they drill into it to clean it out, it might hurt more afterwards. But we all know what happens if you would have left that cavity sit there way too long. It's gonna become a real problem, a serious issue. So a little bit of pain to get rid of the cavity isn't always the worst thing. Not every time you go to the chiropractor, you're gonna walk out feeling like $1 million. Sometimes you're gonna walk out, be a little more sore. Maybe, I didn't have that when I walked in, I sure do have it now. A lot of times those are things that were gonna become bigger issues that the chiropractor found and took care of. So don't let that be a thing that discourages you. So that's kind of how we look at things, fibromyalgia. So if you know somebody with fibromyalgia, maybe you can share this with them and let them take a look at it. If you have a personal question about your own case you'd like me to look at or answer to you, feel free to shoot me a message below or go to Rockford DC, ROCKFORD.com, rockforddc.com, and you can send us a message right there. Those messages all come back to me personally, so I will see that and I will be happy to answer you. And if you have a question for Ask the Chiropractor, you're curious about chiropractic care, you know someone that maybe went to the chiropractor and told you something about it afterwards or had a reaction afterwards, and you're curious, is that normal? Should I suspect that? Go ahead and reach out, ask away, That's why we do this. That's why we do these whole things here. Ask the Chiropractor to get to the bottom of it, and so you can hear it right from a chiropractor's mouth what you have happened and what you should expect. All right. Well, I'm Dr. Brad Halsabus. I'm a graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic. I'm the official team chiropractor of the Rockford Ice Hogs. I am my CCWP certified chiropractic wellness practitioner, and I'm also part of the LCP, the Legion of Chiropractic Philosophers. So if you have a question for me you'd like me to answer or get back to you, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'd be happy to see it. And maybe next time we do this video, you'll come on and you'll see that you're the topic of the week to Ask the Chiropractor. All right. Thanks, everybody.